I forgot about the fish tank. Alright guys, welcome back to another Saltwater Sunday. Obviously, I did not forget about the tank. It is still here. I did have some issues, and that's why I stopped focusing on the videos and I just tried to focus on getting the tank more where it needed to be. So I actually ordered my first batch of coral and a few other things from liveaquaria.com. Both those corals are not in the tank. They both died because right after I put them in, the tank almost crashed. Like, it went through a pretty rough patch there. Sadly, we lost Bucky. I guess I'll talk about the additions as well. I also got 4 Necarious snails, or zombie snails, which I'm just calling the zombies because Marvel did do some zombies. I got 2 bumblebee shrimp, whose names were Ant-Man and the Wasp, Scott and Hope. Scott actually had a growth on his side and it was underneath his skin. So every time he molted, it would grow with him, and sadly he didn't make it from that. But we looked it up and bumblebee shrimp actually only live for like 18 months. So it could have been old age. Don't know. Bucky was definitely the fault of my own and the tank almost crashing. I was definitely overfeeding. I was feeding a lot more than I needed to, and algae problems for days. I'm thinking that I have done better. I've cut way back on feeding the fish. Having a shrimp in there, like the fire shrimp, I know they're supposed to clean up uneaten food and all that stuff. If you limit how much you're feeding your fish, should you feed your shrimp a little bit more on the side so they don't starve to death? I kind of think so, as long as you're feeding the fish very little. But I was feeding the fish a lot and feeding the shrimp probably more than it needed, or at least it was fed properly, and then overfeeding the fish. So there's a lot there. Now, the tank itself, I don't even think I went over all the updates. I know the last video we installed the fan. Fan works great. You can probably hear it right now, but it cools off the surface, like right in here where the light is. It cools that off perfectly. So all the water is perfectly fine, good to go. Took care of that problem. Now, I made another video about needing a skimmer for a small tank. So this is the Ice Cap K1 Nano skimmer. It used to have a ring right here. Now I took that off just so I can make it fit in the back compartment. Then this used to have something else to it. I took that off. This is how you adjust for the amount of air to water ratio or whatever. So I just figured out a good spot and I super glued that on there. I wiggled it down and the whole thing worked great. It worked great for months. I had no issues with it whatsoever. It was more of like a wet skim versus a dry skim. But then one day it just started spitting out tons of micro bubbles. Could not get it adjusted again. Since I super glued this, I would just adjust it by pushing it up and down and figuring out where the water level needed to be for this. And I could not get it fine-tuned again. It just kept spitting out micro bubbles. Couldn't get it to work, so I ended up just taking it out. There's that. Worked for a little while, might work for somebody else, I don't know, but I could not get it to work after a while. I don't know what happened, honestly. It might have just needed to be cleaned, and I didn't do that. So there's that. So instead of that, I switched from a skimmer and I used the refugium compartment that they actually have. So I got some Chaeto in there right now. I put this light on. This is the ACKE plant growing light fixture, and I don't remember exactly where I found it. Might have been from In Tank. I think I was checking theirs out and they said something about this. I don't remember. Either way, this light was recommended. It produces like a red light, the red wavelength, which is what plants need to grow, all that stuff. So I got that on the back. Here's what it looks like. So I just put these little 3M strips that they're the easy remove things, and I just put 2 of those on the back, 2 of these on here, so I can just take it off if I need to. There you go. And that's been doing great. Ever since I switched to having Chaeto in the refugium and all that, tank's been running great. I always used to have, even with the protein skimmer, I used to have this film on the top of the water. you could just see it. If you're looking up through it, it just, this nasty looking film. And then ever since I took out the protein skimmer, put this on with the Cheeto, it went away. So the water's been really clear. Everything's been doing really good ever since I actually started paying attention to how much I was feeding the fish. That's it for the updates and all that stuff. Water quality's been good. The nitrates has still been really low. I just tested them the other day and it was like right before we were gonna change the water anyway. There was no nitrates. But I do a 10% water change every week just to get all the fish poo out, because that was another thing. We weren't actually vacuuming the sand and there was a ton of crap in there. And I think that's what also led up to the almost crash of the tank. So there's that. Okay, I know I'm going through all that stuff real quick. I will go over the stock list since it has been updated. We still have the 2 clownfish. They are T'Challa and Nakia. We had the 2 bumblebee shrimp. Scott died. Hope is left. She's still around. She follows the starfish around. It's really hard to get pictures of her because she's so freaking tiny. She's like that big, for real. But I did take a video on my phone of her chasing the starfish. Oh, by the way, we got a starfish. There you go. His name is Wade Wilson because he regenerates. Yeah. We still have the 2 zebra turbo snails. Never named them because I had planned on getting rid of them. They're still there, so there's that. Still have the 2 red-banded trocus snails. What were their names? Petro and Wanda. Yeah, I had to think about it, jeez. So, Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. They will be getting their sister, Lorna, soon. And that's it for the stock list. Bucky is no longer here. He had to be put back under because he went crazy, you know? But I think we're gonna kind of chill out a little bit on the livestock. I know that's not a lot of things in there at all, but I want to start focusing on coral. I want coral in here because it's still just plain rock. That's all it is. And I hate it. I hate just the bare rock. So that is gonna be coming up soon. We are actually gonna start, I'm gonna start with like polyps, easy corals to do, and just let them kind of cover the rocks and just make it look a little bit better in there. But before that, I am actually getting something from Indo-Pacific Sea Farms, their whole little package. I'm gonna get amphipods in there and just, I think I needed to focus on all of the microfauna in the tank before jumping into everything else. And I think I was just going too fast all at once and yeah, didn't have that foundation set up yet. So, by the way, this is a Vlogmas video. Yeah, doing saltwater fish tank Vlogmas stuff, motorcycle Vlogmas stuff. We're all over the place. It's crazy. That is it. I am gonna start getting back into these videos. I know for the next 2 weeks I will have videos, but after that they may go to like once a month. Pretty much anytime I'm adding anything to the tank or just decide to make a video about whatever it is in the tank, then I'll make a video, but it's not gonna be like every week. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. I know it's been a while since I made one of these, like months, months and months, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it and be on the lookout for the next one. Apparently bumblebee shrimp, they only live for like, Jingle just got his new toy yesterday. He chooses to play with it right now. But we looked it up and apparently bumblebee shrimp only live for like 18. Are you freaking kidding me? Why does he have to do this? My God, this is gonna kill me. He didn't play with his toy all day. Except for right now. Jingle, I'm about to take that toy away and give you a different one. Yeah? Can you just play with your bunny rabbit? Look at it, get it. Okay. It might be the occasional squeak, but it's not the wrapper, yes. And I will show you what I did here as soon as I get it on. This used to be the, oh crap, what was it? Bear with me. Sorry.